Now, this is a story about a girl who chose to obey and do the will of the Lord. And now, even though it took some wrong turns and some upside down moments, the spirit within her kept her moving her forward. Now, I don't know much about poetry, but I hope you stick around to know more about my story. Oh, yeah. God bless. Jesus is rocks. Jesus is rocks. Oh yeah, stick around to know more about my story. Oh yeah. God bless, love you, keep on smiling, stay positive. Jesus loves you, so do I. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Good morning, y'all. It is Monday. Hey. It's a day off, but it is early. Sun's barely just up. It's not quite 7 o'clock. It's 5 minutes till, so there we have it. So, got up early because we have a lot of appointments to do today. We're getting our car fixed. We have our key remotes are both low on battery, so they both need to be fixed before, they die on us completely and we can't go anywhere. I think we have an oil change. Something, I need to be working on the brakes. I don't know, do something with it. Whatever needs to be fixed on Bronzilla. We're going out to eat. Yay. Excited for that. Going to a Mexican restaurant. It's really good. Even their lemonades are really good. I've been trying to stay away from caffeine, so trying like caffeine-free stuff, and tried the last time we went there, we had their lemonades and it was good. It's mango lemonade. So good. I think I'll get a lemonade again today. And their street tacos, delicious. So most likely get their chicken street tacos again. Let's see what else is going on. Mom has a few doctor's appointments. We're getting our toesies done. I'm so excited for that, and I'm excited for the color. So make sure you comment down below. No cheating. I probably won't even show you guys today. You probably won't see it until like another Friday's vlog, so, or even Wednesdays, I don't know, but you won't see it right away. So yes, comment down below what color you think I'm getting this time. And I will be taking you guys with me because why not? Obviously I'll be predominantly vlogging in the van, but that's okay. We all like a nice car vlog, don't we? Okay, so I pretty much did everything on my list this past week, except for give the SD card. I apologized to our pastor's wife. I told her last night, I was like, shoot, I forgot it. She's like, oh, no biggie, whenever you give it to me, I'll put it on the website then. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so graceful. But I wrote a note not once, but twice, and I had it left out, and yet I still forgot it. Oh my gosh. But I did tithe. I had gotten some money this week. Our one client had paid us extra, and Mom gave me some. Usually she does the tithe thing, but because she's the one that earns the money. But if I do inherit or get some money, I do tithe, by the way. And yes, I did. No, I'm not saying how much I got. That's none of y'all's business. Yeah, I don't like putting out money. I just feel like I have said this in the past, but I think it's a form of bragging in a way. And yes, I do brag occasionally about what I've gotten through my hauls and stuff, because that's just because I'm excited about it. But yeah, I'm not going to brag about how much money I earn or get, so I don't, like I said, I don't tithe all the time. It's just when I do earn money, and usually mom earns the money, so she tithes it. So it still gets all tithed, okay? And if I do earn it, I do tithe it. Now as far as my savings, I do not tithe on birthday or Christmas money. I talked with my mom about this. She says she doesn't either, and I don't have to, and I don't feel led to. I mean, if I felt led to, I would. I mean, I feel like that's a personal thing. If you want to tithe on birthday and Christmas money, I don't. I think it's more of a gift. It's receiving a gift versus when you work for the money. That is totally different compared to receiving a gift. That's just me personally. I mean, if you feel led to do so, then that's up between you and the Lord, honestly. Just like this is between me and the Lord, so me and the Lord, that's better. There you go. So, yeah. Oh, still continue to pray for all those during this hurricane season. I've heard that the Carolinas have been getting hit, and I kind of figured they would because they live around a bunch of water. So praying for the Carolinas as well as Florida, and then whoever else is getting hit. I heard Mississippi, I think it was, is getting hit. I might be wrong about that, but if they are, I'm still praying for just basically anyone that's getting hit by this hurricane. I sympathize for those who have a sense of empathy towards those who are in distress and hurt and need prayer. So praying for all of you, I really am. So I'm gonna get myself going because I just need to get myself going. I need to leave. We're leaving at like 8:30, which is in an hour and a half. So I need to get myself going, and you'll probably see me in the van. So see you later. Hello guys, how is it going? It is almost the afternoon. It's like an hour before the afternoon, and it's also Wednesday now. You're probably wondering, well, Chelsea, what happened to money? Okay, I have an explanation. I'm just not feeling the greatest this week. This week has been bonkers. I mean, every week is bonkers, and don't mind my crazy hair. I didn't put any conditioner in it. Well, I did conditioner it, the leave-in conditioner, so it's not tamed, and it's frizzy because there's some humidity out. But anyway, get back to Monday. So I brought you guys along. I brought my camera along to film, and I was just completely tired. I was completely just not feeling the greatest whatsoever, and I developed a headache that day. So you can imagine why I didn't film. Don't get me wrong, we had a good time. Okay, so here's the rundown. We were going to get our toes done that morning, but it wasn't quite 9:30 and the place opened at 10, which is kind of late in my opinion, but whatever, you can't control people's hours. But anyway, so we went to Dollar General. We spent like Dollar Tree, half an hour or so there. I found something to add to my collection. My friend's collection is trivia cards, which is very nice, so I can play a game with my friends if they're into Friends TV show, but that's added to my collection now. So that was nice. It was pretty cheap, so yay, score. So we spent like an hour, got some things there. Where else did we go? Then we went to the nail place. I got my nail color. You guys can still have time. Comment down below what the color is. I am not going to show you guys until Friday, so you have time. I will give you a hint. It is a fall color. So there's your hint. Now guess what it is in the comment section below. As long as I have comments, the comment section is open. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I'm not sure why it's not always open, but it's not like I'm getting copyrighted or anything. I haven't done anything wrong in a while as far as my videos. Let's see. What else did we went to? Okay, we went to Mom's doctor's appointment after our feet Then we went to the restaurant, which was really good. Let's see, what else? Then we went to Dollar General. Then we went to the Kia dealership place. There we go. I just kind of combined dealership and Kia together. But anyway, we went to the Honda dealership to get our, not only our keys needed both, they were low. The battery was dinging every time. Our car was saying, hey, you've got low battery. So both of those got fixed. And then our filter system needed to be cleaned out and new filtering system. And then also our brakes needed a new padding on them. I think that's what it was. Need brakes on them because we were having issues prior. By the way, I'm just squishing a squishy because I'm a little stressed right now, which I'll get to in a minute why I am stressed. But anyway, still on Monday. Let's see, what else happened? Oh, and then afterwards we came home. So I developed a headache. I was extremely tired. I was just not having it. I had every intention to go to the viewing, but that evening, but I was not feeling well. I had a terrible headache. I came home, went straight to took a nap, and yeah, took a pill as well, and I slept, and I was just exhausted, so I wasn't no mood to be around people. When I'm not feeling the greatest, it's best if I stay away from people because I just tend to have a moodiness over me, and it's not pretty, to say the least. So that was Monday, and then that evening I felt fine, but I just didn't feel like, I was just dragged down. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna film till today. And so today has been a frazzle day. Obviously I just got dropped off, but the house that we do, Zuzi's house, the dog can't help it that he sheds like crazy. There's just hair everywhere, and to get it every little detail, I have to take my time to get every little thing, and I am slow. I'm a slow-natured person. Hence why I don't have a job, because no one will necessarily hire me because I am slow-natured. I have been in a job and I could not take the pressure. I don't understand the expectation about people, why there's such a high standard. There's one thing to be efficient, but also to constantly rush people, especially if you know they can't handle the pressure. I don't understand the concept of all this. And so, yeah, this is one of the reasons why I don't have a job, as far as finding one that's like a normal job that I can go to and from. And it's just people, I tried it and it didn't work out. It's frustrating. Nonetheless, I had to hurry up and get things done. Mom's late for her class. She already informed her teacher that she'd be late. Hopefully she's no more than like 5 to 10 minutes late, but nonetheless, I hope she's not too late and she misses out too much. But she did reach out to her professor. So I had a rush, and that really frustrated me. I tried my very hardest to not get frustrated, but also sweating on top of it. Their house just, I don't know why they don't know. I guess they're used to being hot, being in the atmosphere, hot heat, and I'm just like, it's so hot in here. So I was sweating the entire time, and then I was rushing on top of it, trying to get everything efficiently done. I don't think I got too much that great, but I tried my hardest, and it's like, oh, I don't do well under peer pressure, to say the least. So yeah, I know I will calm down since I am at home. I'm comfortable. I still got some chores to do around the house, but I'm waiting, one, to calm myself down. I probably will be eating pretty soon, and then I'll get into vacuuming at some point. But the men are downstairs working on the corner round, getting that finally done. Oh my gosh, it's been almost a year since that has been not dealt with. I know, that's crazy. Why? I don't know. They're finally getting around to it, so now my vacuum cleaner cord will not get stuck under the baseboard anymore. So yeah, yeah. So I'll eventually calm down. I know I will, since I'm comfortable at home. I will get, it's just gonna take takes me a little bit to settle down. My adrenaline just stop getting frazzled. But anyway, so yeah, I have chores to do, a few, just a handful, just mostly vacuuming. And then, do I have any laundry? No, I have laundry to do. That's usually on the weekends. Could do some. I don't know. So yeah, do I have any editing to do? No, I just have this video to do, but that's by the end of the day. I'm planning on working more on my dollhouse. I am so glad how much I have accomplished this last weekend. I got pretty much a lot done. I think I got all the trimming done. Maybe like 1 or 2 pieces that I didn't do. I don't know. So hopefully to work on that, that's something I plan on doing. But anyway, since I've calmed down, I kind of vented myself out. Just simply pray for me. I appreciate it. Mom needs prayer too because she's going on, she has to go to class and then she's got some tutoring session to do. So hoping and praying that everything goes well with her because I don't know how she can do it. I don't understand. I don't know how she can handle it. I wouldn't be able to. Maybe I can even get it up today. That would be great. Because my body's just, it malfunctions. I don't know how people can do it. I just don't understand how people can constantly, all the time. It doesn't make any sense. Why can't we just learn to slow down? If anything, if 2020 didn't, I don't understand why 2020, I think that frustrated people more than, I understand some things had to slow down, but if anything, I think God was telling us to learn to slow down. Just simply be in the moment and stop constantly thinking we have to go 100 miles per hour. Our bodies cannot handle that. Our bodies cannot, and I don't understand why we have to constantly, all the time. It's one thing to be efficient, but it's another thing to constantly have to go all the time. And apparently we didn't learn our lesson and we're still constantly, as I perceive the world is crashing onto itself. We are seriously crashing into one of ourselves, and that has to do with because there's sin in our lives. That's the ultimate reason why we're in our predicaments as we are. Because there's so much crap in our lives and sin, and that we can't seem to get our act together and get ourselves in track with the Lord. That is our main problem in today's society and why our earth is collapsing on itself. People need to wake up, honestly. Anyway, enough of my rambling, enough of my frustration. Hopefully, I apologize if you're not liking this, but this is a part of me, and I am real, and I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat how I feel. So, anyway, it is everybody's favorite time in the vlog, Bible time. I did get into my Bible reading this morning, so I try to do that every morning on my own. And I have been pretty good, except for this past Sunday. I didn't get it in, and I was like a little frustrated with that, but what can you do? Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So, I think we're in chapter 42. Joseph's brothers go to Egypt. Ooh. Now Joseph's dreams probably are coming true. Ooh. I'm sure that stung a little bit with the brothers. Anyway, Joseph's brothers go to Egypt, so we're in chapter 42 of Genesis. When Jacob heard that grain was available in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why are you standing around looking at one another? I have heard there's a grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy enough grain to keep us alive. Otherwise, we'll die." So Joseph's 10 older brothers, went down to Egypt to buy grain, but Jacob wouldn't let Joseph's younger brother Benjamin go with them, for fear some harm might come to him. So Jacob's sons arrived in Egypt along with others to buy food, for the famine was in Canaan as well. Since Joseph was governor of all Egypt and in charge of selling grain to all the people, it was to him that his brothers came. When they arrived, they bowed before him with their faces to the ground. Joseph's dream happened years later, but it happened. Oof. Of course, they didn't recognize Joseph because obviously he's grown up since he was a teen when he got first sold so many years back prior, and he looks more like Egyptian now. He's tanner, he's dressed like an Egyptian, he looks like Egyptian, so even though he's Hebrew. But Joseph's brothers did not recognize him at that time. They bowed before him with their faces to the ground. Joseph recognized his brothers instantly, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. "Where are you from?" he demanded. "From the land of Canaan," they replied. "We have come to buy food." Although Joseph recognized his brothers, they didn't recognize him, and he remembered the dreams he had about them many years before. He said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see how vulnerable our land has become." "No, my lord," they explained. "Your servants have simply come to buy food. We are all brothers, members of the same family. We are honest men, sir. We are not spies." "Yes, you are," Joseph insisted. "You have come to see how vulnerable our land has become." "Sir," they said, "there are actually 12 of us. We are your servants. We are all brothers, sons of a man living in the land of Canaan. Our youngest brother is back there with our father right now, and one of our brothers is no longer with us." But Joseph insisted, "As I said, you are spies. This is how I will test your stores. I swear by the life of Pharaoh that you will never leave Egypt unless your youngest brother comes here. One of you must go and get your brother. I'll keep the rest of you here in prison. Then we'll find out whether or not your story is true. By the life of Pharaoh, if it turns out that you don't have a younger brother, then I'll know you are spies." So Joseph put them all in prison for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, "I am a God-fearing man. If you do as I say, you will live. If you really are honest men, choose one of your brothers to remain in prison. The rest of you may go home with grain for your starving families. But you must bring your youngest brother back to me. This will prove that you are telling the truth and you will not die." To this they agreed. Speaking among themselves, they said, "Clearly we're being punished because of what we did to Joseph long ago. We saw his anguish when he pleaded for his life, but we wouldn't listen. That's why we're in this trouble." "Didn't I tell you not to sin against the boy?" Reuben asked. "But you wouldn't listen, and now we have to answer for his blood." Of course, they didn't know that Joseph understood them, for he had been speaking to them through an interpreter. Now he turned away from them and began to weep. Then he regained his composure. He spoke to them again. Then he chose Simon from among them and had him tied up right before their eyes. Joseph then ordered his servants to fill the men's sacks with grain, but he also gave secret instructions to return each brother's payment at the top of his sack. He also gave them supplies for their journey home. So the brothers loaded their donkeys with the grain and headed for home. But when they stopped for the night and one of them opened his sack to get grain for his donkey, he found his money on top of his sack. "Look," he explained to his brothers, "my money has been returned. It's here in my sack." Then their hearts sank, trembling as they said to each other, "What has God done to us?" Then the brothers came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. They told him everything that had happened to them. The man who was the governor of the land spoke very harshly to us, they told him. He accused us of being spies scouting the land, but we said, "We are honest men, not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of one father. One brother is no longer with us, and the youngest is at home with our father in the land of Canaan." Then the man who was governor of the land told us, "This is how I'll find out if you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me and take grain for your starving families and go on home. But you must bring your youngest brother back to me. Then I'll know you're honest men and not spies. Then I'll give you back your brother, and you may trade freely in the land." As they emptied their sacks, there in each man's sack was the bag of money he had paid for the grain. The brothers and their father were terrified when they saw the bags of money. Jacob explained, "You're robbing me of my children. Joseph is gone, Simon is gone, and now you want to take Benjamin too? Everything is going against me." Then Reuben said to his father, "You may kill my 2 sons if I don't bring Benjamin back to you. I'll be responsible for him, and I promise to bring him back." But Jacob replied, "My son will not go down with you. His brother Joseph is dead, and he is all I have left. If anything should happen to him on your journey, you would send this grieving white-haired man to his grave. So that is chapter 42 of Genesis, and we'll be getting into chapter 43 later. Basically Friday. We'll get to that. Alright, now we're going to do chicken soup. So let's see what random terrible thing we're going to talk about or read. Alright, this is also Family Matters, and this is called 60-Second Flashback. I sit in my Honda Civic, stopped at a red light, staring straight ahead when I catch a glimpse of a white Subaru. Out of habit, I turn my head to see if it is someone I know, someone I love deeply but haven't seen in 3 months. To see if it is Zach, my older brother, my other half. The man driving the Subaru reminds me an awful lot of Zach, but it's not Zach. Suddenly, I drift off into my memories and remember all the things about my brother I love and miss so much. I think of how his dishwasher blonde hair would curl, and how he would try so hard to straighten it by wearing a baseball hat until his hair was dry, or plastering it with gel only to make it curl even more. I think of how he would get angry with me for trying to wear his baggy pants and shirts so I would look like him. He wanted to be his own person. I remember how, whenever I was down, he would hug me and tell me how beautiful I was, then cheer me up even more by cracking some off-the-wall joke. He had a sense of humor that no matter how upset somebody was, could always make that person laugh. I recalled a conversation he and I had when I was 14 and he was 18. We were both going through a rough time with our parents, though our situation was different. We were driving in the Subaru, practically brand new then, and for the first time he opened up to me. I felt like he looked at me as his equal instead of his little sister. He began talking to me about how much he loved music and how music was his outlet for stress when things got too rough for him to handle. He looked at me in the eyes, which he rarely did because he usually avoided direct eye contact, and he told me that I also possessed something deep down that would allow me to create when I felt I had nowhere to turn. He told me I just needed to search my soul and I would find it. At that moment, I looked at him and wished so much that I could play the guitar like him or draw like him. He seemed to possess so many talents that I envied, and to hear him say that he saw creativity inside of me made me want to hug him. I didn't, though. I remember him always being holed up in his room whenever he was home, which wasn't very often. He preferred going out partying with his friends. He was messing around with different kinds of drugs, which made him moody and difficult to tolerate. When he was around the house, there was a constant tension because he didn't want any of us telling him what to do. He didn't want to hear a thing we had to say. I guess that's why I was so surprised when he took me with him that day in the car and spoke to me with such sincerity. My eyes began to well up with tears as I remember the time not too long ago when his dog of 10 years got cancer and had to be put to sleep. He slept in the garage with her for the last week of her life, and we were all together when she died. The look of loss in his eyes and the river of tears that flooded his cheeks told me about his love for his dog than any others he could have spoken. As he bent over and held her limp, lifeless body in his arms, his own body began to shake, and I realized how attached to her he was. As he stood up, I put my arms around him, hoping he would realize I was there for him, but he was distant in his own world. Later that day, he came walking through the garage door with sunglasses on, even though it was a rainy day, so that we couldn't see his red, puffy eyes. He always wore choker necklaces, but he had another necklace on that hadn't been there earlier. He pulled the necklace out from under his shirt and showed us that he was wearing his dog Annie's name tag. I cried even more as I began thinking about why we haven't spoken for 3 months. I had to set boundaries. I vividly recall the night when I awoke to hear him calling someone I'm not going to say this, the B word, and another word, the W word. I'm not saying those words. I stood in the hallway and heard my brother calling his girlfriend names, thrashing all around the kitchen like a mad rabbit. He was incredibly drunk. The hurtful words that spewed out of his mouth were ones I would only expect a deranged lunatic to say. They were not words that would be spoken to a loved one. The next day I decided we needed to discuss the previous night. He stood in the family room with a vacant yet defiant look in his eyes as I began pouring open my soul about how much I worried about his alcohol consumption. It seemed the more I said, the further away he went. Finally, he looked at me, told me I was overreacting, that he was perfectly fine. He's obviously in denial. I stood listening to him deny the concerns, knowing that his denial was just a way to convince himself there was no problem. I gathered all the courage I had to proceed to tell him that until he quit drinking and got help, there could be no brother-sister relationship between us. The look he gave me, and more than words could ever express. I knew he thought I was overreacting and that I couldn't follow through, or I wouldn't follow through. After all, I never had before. He moved out 2 weeks later when my parents and I gave him the ultimatum of living at home sober or moving out. He chose the latter of the two. He was furious with us for making him choose. He was staying away for 3 months now. He has stayed away for 3 months now. The light turned green. I began to cross the intersection while looking in the windows of the white Subaru. The man driving the car is built just like Zach. I realized how much I want to see him and wonder if I made the right decision. Then I think to myself what my dad told me the day Zach left. I knew I said I would say keep these names anonymous, but we're just going to say it anyway because it's already saying it. Tiana, we may not realize it now, but he will thank you one day for loving him so much that you put your foot down to him and let him know how things were going to be. Your mom and I love you and respect you for being so strong and caring that you would risk not talking to him to make him face the facts and get better. At the moment, I knew I made the correct decision, and I said a little prayer that I would see my brother again soon. So, sometimes we have to make the right decision to put our foot down when it comes to these type of situations. It's not always easy, especially if we're going through it, or if that our loved one is going through a hard situation. And yes, sometimes we have to put our foot down and say, I'm sorry, but I cannot condone this type of behavior. And we shouldn't condone these type of behaviors. I don't agree with a lot of things, and even though I love and I sincerely pray for a lot of my loved ones and friends, I don't always agree with them as far as allowing themselves to get involved with a lot of worldly things. And so I have put my distance towards a lot of things because I just do not tolerate a lot of sinful behavior. If it goes against the Word of God, I will not tolerate it, and I will not I do not agree, condone, or any of that. I just will not go with a flow with things. So sometimes I've had to put walls up or put people. Doesn't mean I don't love them or won't pray for them. That has nothing to do with it. But they have to learn the hard way, basically. Excuse me. So this has been almost 30 minutes long. It's actually be longer since I did Monday's introduction, but yeah, I'm just gonna chill out and relax and see how the time goes, and I might vlog later just to say goodnight or whatever, and I'll give you guys an update later, so stay tuned. Just like that, it's the evening. Hello. I couldn't stand my hair for so long, so I just stuck it up in a bun because it was so annoying. Anyway, I'm currently working on my dollhouse right now. So this is what I'm currently working with. A hot mess, I know. But anyway, so everything downstairs has been gotten ready, or gotten finished. So the guys got done. I vacuumed. Mom's home. A few groceries. Put those away. So we're all good. We'll get you around here. Yeah. So that is my Monday, including Wednesday. So hope you guys enjoyed the vlog, no matter how crazy this is and how frustrated. I'm not gonna let my frustration get to me. I'm gonna put it to the side and say, Lord, help me. Give me a sense of peace within my spirit. Despite the frustration, I will get over it. Trust me, I'm a big girl. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Keep on smiling, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.